another person in that movie who's actually the villain of it, a little actor named William H. Macy, who is in the news as of late.
Sure
and I got to
is.
say, Rob, what did you know and when did you know it about the celebrity SAT cheating scandal?
Okay, so as a celebrity, I have to tread carefully. No, I didn't know anything until it happened. And I do hope, because I think we may find, I mean, was it the CEO of PIMCO, the largest bond trading company, is in there. I mean, I think, which is weird to me, because that's the type of guy who could afford to endow a school with a library.
Yeah.
But he was just like, I'm a bond guy. He's like a little more risk averse than a stocks guy. So he's like, I'll just do the thing that Felicity Huffman's doing.
Yeah, get the bargain.
Yeah, I didn't know anything, but it's weird. And then there's parts that aren't funny. Like, it's funny when you first hear about it. When you first think about it, it's funny. Then you hear the details and you're like, Jesus. And then it's funny again. But for the not funny part, I mean, using like special proctors that were reserved for kids with disabilities and stuff. I mean, there's some bad. They did a bad
laundering the bribes through a charity that's supposed to provide special education, and it's just going to these guys' boathouses or whatever.
Probably worst of all, pretending to row crew when you're not even a coxswain.
Apparently, they put their daughter's head on the picture,
like Photoshop.
Photoshop. Pulled the head like that scene of JFK when they're mocking up the picture of Oswald with the rifle.
Oh, man.
Just putting the head on the body of the athlete.
And then bless poor. I mean, look, I was a mess when I was 18, but then poor thing. You get to sort of the money shot, and you see all the posts of Lori Laughlin's daughter, and they're just such a bummer. They're such a bummer.
She was securing the bag big time in college with all those sponsored posts.
I do like though the idea that for now that their parents did this elaborate thing. Spent all this money to try to get them all of the symbols of being a worthy member of the elite, right? Because they didn't need to do this. They could have taken all that money, put it in a fucking in a trust fund, and the kid's set for life. Mm-hmm. But no, you have to have that elite education that shows that you deserve your status. But now instead of that, they have court records talking about how dumb they are and how untalented. It's like
such a disaster.
There's parts in there where they're like they presented their child to be a top ranked tennis star, and then they got in the footnotes. It's like in reality she was no higher than the 203rd on the list. Yeah. It's like these kids are getting owned in court documents.
Imagine your mom or dad is wiretapped, and in the court document. Yeah, no lie, my kid has the smallest dick.
I don't have to imagine that.
Terrible. No, I mean, I've had a day to process this.
Okay, here
Contrarian corner.
Contrarian corner.
It's the last take you ever thought of.
Yes, here it comes.
No, I'm in favor of them doing this.
How did I know?
Can I explain my reasoning?
Absolutely.
Go for it.
I saw a day of posts from, just people who have blue checks for no reason. Not like me. I have it for a reason.
Of course. Pure posting prowess.
17-year-old Twitch streamer. But yeah, it was just a day of post. Like, this is a very funny story. Right, and it's also one of those things where I'm like, why does the FBI need to be involved with this? Like, who gives a shit, really? It's just like, how is it different than like Donald Trump giving $10 million to Penn State so fucking Don Jr. can get it? Who, by the way, Don Jr. was laughing at this.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, you got into fucking Penn State on your own. For
University of Pennsylvania, even worse. Ivy League school.
Jared Kushner's dad gave Harvard something like $53 million so he could go there.
Exactly. So, like, they did it because people in Hollywood are, no offense, but their brains are like walnut sized. Compared to New Yorkers,
we would be taking this approach.
New Yorkers whose brains would be walnut sized, but it's just filled with bodega dust.
Oh, here we go. Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. And fucking rat excrement. Both of them have below average sized brains, but like that, they have an amount of low cunning that is like, oh, it's respectable if I, give Yale a battleship. It's morally equivalent. We got that. Then it caused a day of posts from pointless blue checks about, the integrity of college, how hard I worked to go to college, how good I was at writing essays. I remember when I was in college. I got into college on my own. You're 35. Shut up.
Yeah,
No
or
one
the people
fucking cares.
tripping over themselves to be like, look, I know, the people who want you to know that they understand the privilege that they had, and they tried to get in before you can cut them down by telling you how aware they are.
That's my favorite thing. It's equivalent to, do you remember like 2014 when like Ferguson and everything, and like there were like white blue check marks would use it as an opportunity to talk about how cool they were when they were
all the cool crimes they did without getting in trouble.
I got high on weed and I reached for a cop's gun and the city ended up giving me a medal because of why was I making this post? Because I have white privilege. This is the same thing where they're like, I went to Yale MIT, and guess what? I'm smoking crack the entire time because I have privilege. Cool.
Yale MIT.
It is a weird
cool
thing.
You demand.
That's one of those things where you can, one thing that you can do is just not tweet about yourself when something like that. You don't have to.
Yeah, you'd think, but some people can't do that.
That's true. A lot of people.
You could tweet about Oliver Stone's The Doors.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And how,
which I saw with my mom in the theater when I was in high school.
Oh, wow. Man,
There's
no
worse
way.
things to see, but I was like, we shouldn't have
There's
done
a little
this.
bit of sex in it, but it's more like the most erotic parts of the movie are when he's seeing the old Native American man.
That's very hot.
Who's like, the movie strongly implies that when he saw an old man die as a child, like his spirit chose to inhabit this boy genius who would go on to become a world-changing poet.
American poet.
Yeah.
Native Americans
James
died. So,
Douglas Morrison.
yeah, they died so rock and roll could be invented.
But
And not good rock and roll, the kind where just a fucking completely idiotic man lazily recites poetry.
They're a weird band.
That movie really was. That movie did feel like the Rosetta Stone for just the entire boomer concept.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to understand it, everything from Woodstock to QAnon, it's all in the Doors.
Yep.
Like these are the people who went from that to posting about the imminent Pizzagate arrests.
It's a little more subtle than Natural Born Killers, though. Because he'll drift off into a dream in that, but then in Natural Born Killers, you get into the Dayglow and the Bonkers, and that's a busier movie. So just aesthetically, I think, it's a smoother ride. The Doors.
When I was watching that, I felt like a deep pain in my heart when we were watching it last night, and then like a deep embarrassment. And I wondered why, and I realized because that movie has the ideology I did when I was like 12.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 12, I thought like, we could end the Iraq War. Oh, God, dude, this sucks. We could end the Iraq War if someone sang Black Sabbath War Pigs to George Bush. And that movie has the same ideology. It's like, what if a guy talked about fucking in front of a cop?
Yeah.
Awesome.
How about, girl, you couldn't bite my wire?
Yeah, the part where he says we couldn't get much higher on Ed Sullivan, and the square is like, you're never playing Sullivan again. like, that's all. It really did solve the equation for boomers, which is that they're trapped in being 12 forever.
Kyle MacLachlan did a serviceable Ray Manzarek in there.
But I was
He's
looking
great
forward
and
to it
everything.
because
Yeah,
I love Kyle MacLachlan, but then he disappears about a half an hour into the movie and is never heard or seen from again, except sort of shaggily behind a keyboard, sort of plugging away.